everyone. Welcome to the Clydesdale Fitness and Friends. My name is Scott Schweitzer. I'm your host. I am the Clydesdale. We love to do fitness, and these are my friends, Kat and Amy.
Hey.
So first, we have to thank our sponsors, and Amy's going to do a quick shout out.
Yeah, shout out to RX Smart Gear. Best jump ropes that there can be. So I will tell you that there's an athlete that I've been following at our gym who has purchased the heavier rope, and I've been watching him do this journey this whole time. So anytime that there is a workout, just a regular general everyday workout, he's using this heavier rope in his training. And so he's saving his regular RX Smart Gear jump rope for, like named workouts like Annie or the Open. And he has been crushing his workouts because of it. And so it's given me like a little this has always kind of been a challenge for me, and maybe he's onto something. So anyways, if you would like to experience the RX Smart Gear jump rope, go ahead and hop onto the website and use our code Clydesdale, all caps, 15 for 15% off any of your orders except new releases and special editions.
Kat, who do you want to thank?
Yeah, so it's a 2 protein bar day today for me. I have been coaching back to back to back, and I got 2 in. I got a salty peanut and I got a white chocolate almond.
I had a white chocolate almond as well.
They have like a little cherry undertone to them.
Yeah.
I think it's the almond. So delicious. Anyway, our friends at Bear Bells are giving us and our listeners and our viewers 10% off using the code Clydesdale15 at shop.bearbells.com.
Clydesdale 15 or Clydesdale 10?
It's Clydesdale 10.
It's Clydesdale 10, yeah.
Clydesdale 10.
10%. They're affordable anyway, so just a little discount.
Yeah, all of our discount codes are Clydesdale something, and so it's very easy to invert them. I do it all the time.
Yeah, 10 on the bars.
So yeah, thanks to our sponsors. They help us do what we do, and they are so supportive, and we're so happy to have them on board.
Yeah.
So how's it going, guys?
Speaking of sponsors, or maybe potential sponsors in the future, I want to give a shout out to Whoop, because as you guys know, I bought my son a Whoop, and I got him an 18-month subscription for the Whoop. Big expense, big risk. I'm not going to go into details because I don't want everyone running to Whoop and trying to do the same thing that I did, but I will just tell you that my 18-year-old is a dum-dum, and something happened with a strap, and Whoop has been very, very kind and generous, helping us out, trying to fix the problem, and making things right with everything. So big shout out to them. I love my Whoop. I know we all use ours. We have our Clydesdale. What's the name of our group? We have a Whoop group, right?
It is the Clydesdale CrossFitter.
Clydesdale CrossFitter. So join our group. It's super fun, but I just wanted to give a shout out to them. Their customer service is top notch. I've been like back and forth with 3 or 4 people, and every time I don't even ask for it to get escalated. It just automatically gets escalated to someone else who is like more important and has more authority, and they've been great. So thank you.
I totally agree. I've had phone calls with people from Whoop because they have been following up with me. Like I've sent emails or through just different social media platforms, and they've been extremely responsive.
Yeah.
You had the same issue. They did an update for me and got mine working again quickly. But what we'll do is we do have that group, the Clydesdale CrossFitter, and I will put the code below. So you can sign up into our Whoop group, and it'll be that code that is the password to get you into our group.
Awesome. Yeah, because now that I'm doing the Fraser programming and working out 2.5 hours a day, I'm like winning all of my Whoop groups for strain. It's kind of fun. Not so much for sleep. But
not every day.
Not every day, but I'm getting there. You're never seeing me at like, the 9 and the 8 days, maybe once a week. That's it.
Yeah, my strains have been 14 plus every day I'm working out.
Nice.
It has been insane.
That's good though.
It is. It's good for me. I need it.
Yeah. How are you feeling?
Transparency.
Yes.
Had a rough weekend. Cut down a tree, and my chainsaw broke mid cutting up the tree, and my buddy came over and brought beer, and it led to
More
a
beer.
day of more beer and some takeout food. And the scale bit me in the ass right after,
Funny how
which
that
it
happens,
should, which it
Right.
should. I didn't do what I should have done. But in my head, I was like, well, I basically worked out twice. I worked out in the morning, and then I cut down the tree and was cleaning it all up. But yeah, none of that helped. Nutrition is so important. It's why it's the base of the pyramid.
Right. Right.
And
Two
so
things. Go ahead.
I just want to finish up with, so
Yeah.
I found myself getting into old habits where I was beating myself up for what I did. And I reached out to my coach, Cheryl, and said, listen, I'm done drinking. I'm done drinking for a month at least. And she said, why? Like, it's okay to have
Right.
a drink. It's not okay to have 6. Like, we will work on a plan this weekend where we fit 2 beers into your weekend and you will be fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
So she slapped me up and said, don't go all the way to the other side. Let's do this so it's sustainable.
Right. And that is such the key, that it's sustainable. And the good part about what happened with you this weekend is you've been so consistent up until now that it didn't completely derail you, right? I mean,
Right.
a day of a mishap is not going to set you back, to where you started. And it's just, it's relatively easy once you get that pep talk or whatever it is that you need, to sort of get right back on track. And you can have those indiscretions from time to time, not every weekend, and still be okay, which is awesome.
Yeah, it was my first one in 14 weeks. Like, I made it
Yeah,
a
you've
long
been great.
time without a big blow up.
Yep.
So I did well. And
Can
yeah.
I address the bigger issue here? Like, I really appreciate that, the balance and all this part of it. But I think we're not addressing the real concern, which is operating a chainsaw and drinking at the same time.
I did
That's
not.
going to put you in the hospital.
I did not. I did not.
Okay.
The chainsaw stuff was done.
point, Amy.
Then we had the beer.
Okay. Well, let's just make sure we separate those two things, because I definitely do not recommend combining those two.
That's funny.
But speaking of safety, I do have a story for both of you, and you probably will laugh so hard. So today, I was at the gym. I was getting ready to warm up on the rower, and Christy Aramo O'Connell walked by and was asking me how I was doing. And as she was asking me, I went to sit down on the rower and
Did you fall on your-
completely missed the seat.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
And
My
went
middle school boys do that all the time.
ass over tea kettle, right
Yep.
off the rower. And she goes, "Are you okay? Are you okay?" And I said, "Only if you don't have security footage." And she goes, "You'd be
That's
amazed
great.
what we see on that camera."
I'm sure.
Oh, that would be the best entertainment. Like Friday night, just watch your videos of.
Yeah, one of the gyms I used to work at had security cameras, and the coaches would tell stories sometimes about some of the things that they would see. It was mostly counting people's reps and things, and cheaters. But there was some other stuff on there too. Pretty salacious.
That is pretty crazy, counting reps on the security camera.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And I remember sometimes when we had to have important conversations, but we didn't want it to be we had to go to a place where it wasn't going to be recorded because they had audio too.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Mm.
Crazy.
But other than that, I killed the workout today. A lot of rowing, and I feel like my row is back.
Good.
Like big, strong pools, getting a lot of meters per pool. I did the decks, damper on 4, and just let her rip. And
Yeah.
and for years I was like an 8-9 guy.
Yeah, no, you gotta just let it go.
Have you ever done the display your drag factor on there to get set up and find out? So, okay.
Oh yeah. Go through that. That's cool.
Yeah, I'll give you some details later, but I took a rowing clinic, and it talks about even if you are normally somebody that's on a 4 or something, every piece of equipment and machine is calibrated somewhat differently. So when the first time when you warm up, you should display your drag factor every time. And then that's where you kind of adjust where to put your damper at. And it's based on, there's a couple of things that it's based on how to determine that, but I'll send it to you because it's actually a really cool trick.
That'd be awesome if they gave you enough time in between the workouts to actually set something up. But
That's
it was
funny.
great. My stomach is not in the way. I'm able to do a full pull.
That's awesome.
I did during the workout today. It ended up being 1,800 meters. Never got tired. Never had to stop. Felt great. Like I left today going, man, this is fun again. It's not a struggle. It's just fun again. Now,
So that's
now Monday
great.
was burpees and that was a struggle. And, you know, I'll have those days, but
Sure. That's great. I get to sleep in tomorrow. So tomorrow's my rest day.
I do not.
you
Well, I
switched
say
that up. Wasn't it supposed to be Wednesdays?
I know. And then we had this grand plan that it was going to be Mondays and Fridays. And we're going to do Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then Saturday and Sunday because I have more time on the weekends to work out than I do any other time. But my training partner wanted one day where she didn't have to do anything, which would be Sundays. So I acquiesced and we're back to the normal schedule.
Mm-hmm.
And it's still going well?
Yeah, it's going great. I feel super strong. Things are getting easier. I've made peace with the rower myself. I'm getting really comfortable on the rower. We do 40-minute rows twice a week. And
Like
so,
40 minutes
yeah,
straight rowing,
straight,
like no
straight
intervals. Okay.
Nope. And then Mondays, we also do intervals, which are like usually around 4,000 meters of some interval combination. And it's like, I just know what my pace needs to be. I know what pace I can hold forever versus what I can get to when I need to sort of push it. And I discovered this morning that I am still not very comfortable on the Echo bike because we did some intervals on the Echo bike and I was going so slow. And like compared to what she was doing, she was getting so many more calories than me. And we were doing the same intervals. Her first interval was like 50 calories. Mine was like 38. I'm like, I'm definitely not. And I was dying. So I'm going to try to force myself to do the bike a little bit more to get more comfortable with that too. But I'm having a blast.
Mm-hmm.
Amy, how are your workouts going?
Well, today was a little bit of a craziness. So on Wednesdays, I coach 4:15 and then I'll stay afterwards and do the 5:30 class, like with the class with people. And that's always a fun class because my husband works out then and sometimes my son comes. And so I get to kind of be a part of that group. Well, the 5:30 coach had a work emergency and so needed somebody to fill in. And so that was me. Well, but I find this out at about 3:15 as I'm leaving work and heading to the gym. And I was like, okay, all right, how am I going to get this in? How am I going to get this whole workout in? And there was a strength portion, like a squat wave, and then there was like a 14-minute AMRAP. Well, I got there, changed my clothes, and like did 3, 2, 1 on my clock, and I did the AMRAP real fast because, well, I did it for the amount of time. But I mean, no warm up, I just had to go because I didn't have the time. So I got that done, wiping sweat off me. I get the class started, we start warming up, I do that. And then between the two classes, which had 15 minutes, I knocked out my squat wave because I was like,
good.
Well, got to do whatever I can do today to get the work in. So I got the work done, but just not in the traditional way. But it was good. And then we did a bunch of like interval work yesterday with some box jumps and toes to bar and like a 100-meter sprint. And if you know me, I like to run, but not at a sprint pace. I don't have the fast twitch muscle fibers. I have the slow twitch muscle fibers that are better for long distance running, but it's good for me to challenge that. And I did yesterday, but I just don't love it.
Yeah. The only other crazy thing for me is this front rack mobility thing that I've never had.
Yeah.
And it is really throwing off like my power cleans now because it's throwing me back when I catch. Because I'm so used to like catching it out in front and holding it. And now that it's like landing on my body, it's so different. I don't even know how to describe it. Like I really have to I can't muscle clean. I really have to catch it in a dip of some sort.
Yeah. And you have to brace yourself for it, right?
Yeah. And so it's been weird that like something that, and then once I get in the groove, it feels awesome. but it takes me like so long to get there. And I'm going so light just to try to figure it out.
Mhm.
But yeah, I wish Charlie was on and I could tell him how cool it is to have front rack mobility.
Mobility.
Yeah, he needs to hear about that.
So any other big things happening? Graduations?
I'm starting to get crazy, person.
Yeah.
What's your graduation going to be like for Braden?
It is on June 5th, which is the same weekend as Granite Games. So I won't be able to go to that, which is fine. Eliana's going to prom the night before. So she's a little perturbed that she has to get up at 9 a.m. the next morning to go to her brother's graduation.
Yeah,
she's not going to have much of an after prom. Yeah. But it's in the morning because the state baseball tournament, potentially the state finals, is that day in the afternoon. And so
wait, will Braden have prom the night before too?
Braden's not going to his prom.
But would his
no, it's not usually the night before. No, I think it's in a couple weeks probably. I'm not quite sure, but they're doing this weird thing where you have to like be with 8 people the whole night, and you can't like dance with anyone except the 8 people at your table, and you can't take your masks off unless you're taking pictures with just the 8 people at your table. And he was like, I don't want to do that. He also told me that if he's in the state championships, he's not walking graduation in the morning of the graduation. So yeah, that'll be a battle. We'll have to see, because he has a very specific like ritual, especially he's been pitching Saturday games. They have like 2 games middle of the week and a game on the weekend, and the games on the weekend have happened to just be really big games. And he pitched Saturday. He did awesome. He had like 10 strikeouts and shut out the other team and pitched a complete game, which he'd never done before, which is kind of cool.
And did I see he hit a home run?
He had a home run yesterday. Yeah, that I missed. A 2-run, line drive, basically, that, his fence isn't super tall. But he's like, Mom, I thought for sure the left fielder was going to catch it, but it just went over the fence. I was like, that's pretty cool. He just bought a new bat too from one of his teammates who's on JV. He like has been borrowing this kid's bat for the last few games, and just traded bats and paid him an extra like $200 to take his bat. And he's got like his batting average is like 470 or something like that. So yeah, he's having a stellar season. It's fun to watch.
That's awesome.
But yeah, so apparently if they go to state championships, he's not walking graduation. So I don't know what to do. He's like, Mom, that's more for you than me. I'm like,
you know what?
Okay.
He's kind of right.
I know. So I don't know.
Yes, our graduation is supposed to be, which at first I was like, I cried. I did cry. Okay. Because our graduation is going to be a drive-through. And I was devastated at first. Then, listen, I've learned in this year of pandemic to be flexible, right? And so I was actually talking to some parents that I know that had seniors last year, and they were like, Amy, it's way cooler. They're like, it's so much more relaxed. Like they're like, you're in like a parade, everybody's honking, playing music, and it's more like personal. And I was like, okay, we'll see. And I was like, if that means I can ride in the car and have mimosas at 9 a.m. and do the graduation, maybe it won't suck.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I hate all this. I did just order his cap and gown on Sunday, and we got an email Monday from like the lady that's coordinating him going, if you received this email, you have not ordered your gown yet. And I'm like, I did it last night. We're good. So yeah. And there's some baby picture I'm supposed to submit for the yearbook that I haven't done yet either. So it's like I feel so disconnected to each of the kids' schools just because everything comes through in an email.
Do they go through to different schools?
They do.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize that. Okay.
Yeah, they go to different schools.
Yeah, we had to do like the baby picture for graduation. They ran like a montage while you were waiting on because it's at the Schottenstein Center, and it was like the big basketball. And so it had like a screen that ran all the baby pictures.
Oh, that's cute. Yeah. I think ours is in our football stadium outside.
See, that would be totally doable. That's what I proposed, but
yeah, completely doable. Yeah, yours will probably be more interesting and more fun though, really, because sitting on bleachers and watching 800 million kids, get their name announced. I don't know.
That's true.
I did not I never had a high school graduation because I wasn't in school my senior year, and then I never walked for my college graduation. So I'm not a big like ceremonial person myself. And I think that's Braden's the same way. He's like, I don't really care about that stuff. I'm like, okay.
This is what's cool about Ohio State, graduating from Ohio State. Sorry, but it is cool, Schweitzer. When you walk, like when I went, there was 50,000 students that go to Ohio State. When you walk at graduation, they hand you your actual diploma. So I left there with my actual diploma. It wasn't mailed to me. Got my straight up. So the fact that they can logistically figure that out, even if people last minute like just don't show up, is amazing to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've walked a lot and never got my diploma as I walked. High school, college, masters, none of them.
Ohio State's got it going on.
Braden had a really cool graduation from daycare that I have video of, so we're good. It was cute. I cried. It was adorable. Adorable. Anyway.
So been kind of a slower week with CrossFit this week, but we want to touch on some things. And one thing I thought was really impressive is on Instagram today, our friend, Taylor Williamson, clean and jerked because she didn't know what her personal best was. So she did it today, 255.
Right up there with 265 from the, oh no, that was just a clean, right?
Yeah.
In the games. That's impressive.
Yeah, the clean was easy. The jerk, she stumbled a tiny bit, but man, the clean was sweet.
She's no joke.
Yeah, and I'm getting to love her more and more the more I'm following her now that she's been on the show and we're getting to know her better, and her dog Bruce. That's been a lot of fun. And Mayhem freaking crushed the team thing.
They sure did.
I thought the most exciting part was when Rich and Taylor were doing the wall balls together, and Taylor beat Rich off the wall balls. Like, has Rich ever been pushed that much?
Right. He's probably getting better because of it, you know, and I mean, he didn't really need to get better. So the fact that that's happening it's going to be really exciting to watch.
And when you watch the behind the scenes, Andrea's like, I'm tired of being the weak link. I'm like, you came in 9th in the world, in North America, in the individual thing, and you're calling yourself the weak link.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah. It is crazy. I can't wait. So age group online qualifier invites went out. All my friends are posting, you know, all of their emails and things. We still don't know what the workouts are. I'm really scared that they're going to be the same.
Me too.
Not scared, just disappointed.
So I think the one chance, and we kind of talked about it on our After Dark a little bit, is that unlike the quarterfinals, this is a direct qualifier for the games.
Yeah.
And so it's going to have to be different.
I mean, they'll probably use rings because rings was one of the required elements, right? And they haven't used rings yet. So I'm assuming there'll be maybe some more high skill gymnastics happening there, but I don't know. I'm like I said, I'm waiting to see what the floor layouts are going to look like, and assuming that those get launched, you know, on a Monday or Tuesday before.
Yeah,
this is all happening next week, right?
Yeah, I think it's Mondays when the floor plans are announced.
Okay, good. So we'll see those and then see what happens.
I don't want to do the wall ball already. 120 wall balls, I'm out. Gotta go.
Yeah, I'm
going to do them, but if I have to.
You are so good at wall balls.
It would be dangerous for me to do the GHD one too, because like I don't train on a GHD ever. So I'm not going to just all of a sudden do 180 GHDs. Like,
here's the deal.
Really stupid.
We're not going to get to do 180 of them. That's just not going to happen.
That's true. But even to do them, like, I just think that would be unwise of me to do. So that one I'm out for sure. I think what I'll do is probably casually do a workout or two, you know, with some friends that have also qualified but don't have aspirations to like go to the games this year. and see how that goes. But quite frankly, when I do anything like the Open, my training gets all out of whack. I rest for like 4 days and I get all in my head. And, I was so glad that the Open was only 3 weeks because it messed me up so much. And I'm on such a good track now with what I'm doing that it's not worth it for me to derail what I'm doing training wise now to stop and do this when there's no chance I'm going to the games. Like 100% no chance. Even if I were to do a little bit better than I did in the rankings from the Open, is not worth it for me to mess up that.
I have no thoughts that of me moving forward. But I just want to participate in it. Like that was just I just want to be a part of it. But I'm not participating because I think, I think this is it. Like I train an hour a day, sometimes more, but I mean, I work full-time job. This is not what I've been training for, right? I haven't been training to go to the games.
Yep.
Yeah, I think, from the people I've talked to at Polaris, the people that made it to the quarters had a blast. Whether they were good at the workouts or not, they were just like, we got to play.
Yeah.
We got to go one more step, and they had a blast, and it was a feather in their cap. And they really enjoyed it. And I think that hopefully that spreads and we get more open participation moving forward.
Yeah, that would be great.
Because I had some friends this year that would have qualified for quarterfinals based on their scores, had they have signed up, and they just didn't sign up this year. And I was like, look what happened. You could have.
Yeah, they'll definitely sign up next year. Yeah, I think the way it's structured this year is brilliant for so many reasons, but I'm super happy with.
Yeah, I've been happy with everything except for, I think, the team workouts. It was just lazy.
Yeah, I'm with you. I agree.
I also think that they need to, people need to declare after the Open whether they're going team or going individual. I don't think there should be, I'm going to do it this way and see what happens. And if I qualify, then I'm going to jump on a team and everything else. I don't think it's fair for the people that are on the bubble where people are going to decline invites and backfill and all that. Like I was telling you guys before, I have there's a coach, affiliate owner here that was like 130th or 126th or something that may now go, but it's like he's in this limbo stage right now. Like, should I be training? Should I be deloading? He doesn't know. And it just sucks.
Yeah, I thought the invites were going out today, and then they had to declare, and then that whole backfilling thing was going to happen.
And then
on
really
Monday.
They can't. Yeah, and then they can't seed the competitions until they have the final list of the people that are actually in it.
Right. Yeah, it's going to slow everything down.
We're like another couple weeks away from that happening, and yet we're 4 weeks away from the first competition. 4 or 5 weeks away. It's crazy.
So one thing I wanted to bring up to you guys is Underdogs Athletics, Justin Kotler's new programming. And kind of as it's been released more and more, and it's live now, and I think you have until Monday to sign up. It is done in cycles. So not like Matt's programming or Comp Train or any of those others. Like you sign up for an 8-week cycle, and that's it, you're done. And then you have the choice after that 8 weeks to do another cycle with them. But the belief by Justin is that to do programming correctly, you have to do it in an order, in a cycle, to get the best bang for your buck. And it's funny because I saw somebody talking about, or I was talking to somebody who signed up for programming, and the second weekend was their like deload week. And it was Dex. Dex was doing a programming. Second week was deload week. And he's like, but I haven't even done anything to deserve a deload. And so I like that idea. And so I just wanted to get your thoughts about that, how it's done in cycles. So once it closes, you can't sign up till the next cycle.
Yeah.
How much
Marcus,
is
$45 a month, $49 a month, I think.
Okay.
49. Marcus Philly's stuff, the revival strength, is also like that. It's you have to jump in at this time, and they're opening it up, and you have a week to sign up, and it starts on Monday, and it's the cycle, and it's 8 weeks or whatever it is. That one's there are a few out there that are like that. So it's not like necessarily like a brand new concept. And it's just, it's just different. I mean, the Matt Fraser things is still a cycle. It's still a 90-day, I think, 12-week thing, but you can purchase it whenever and start it whenever. And you just have access to all the workouts. So there are people like, I'm on day 26, I think, or 26, but there are people in our Facebook group that are on day 32 because they started like the first day it opened, and we waited like until a Monday to do it. And there are other people that are just buying it now that are on day one.
Okay.
So there's that. But his program is very specific in terms of like Mondays, you're always doing the same thing. And the Metcon uses the same implements. It's just a little bit different. And so it's a very linear progression of the weights. You're doing like different percentages and different rep schemes, but you're building off of what you did the week before. And so Mondays and Fridays, we always squat. Tuesdays is always presses. Wednesdays, is always snatches and overhead squats and what have you. So Saturdays are always a really long EMOM with different skills spattered in, but it's super regular and sort of predictable, which is nice because you kind of know what you're getting.
Yeah, there's two more things I wanted to just talk about before we get into our silly questions. But one is, speaking of Matt, he is launching a supplement company that we didn't get to talk about last week, named Podium. Very catchy for someone who has won the game 5 times and second the other 2. And he is doing that with the Buttery Bros, and then 2 business people are in the ownership group with them. They're starting out with 3 products. I think it's a pre-workout, a protein, and a BCAA.
They're gonna do so well.
And it's due to launch in July.
Okay.
And if you want to know more about that, both the Buttery Bros and Matt Fraser on their YouTube channels have different behind the scenes looks at the tasting of the supplements and how they get to kind of alter those and how that process went. And I think on Fraser's, it's really cool. The one business guy has been in the supplement industry forever. And he talks about all of the protocols they're putting in place because Matt does not want a tainted sample.
Right.
Like in his video, he's like, listen, that will cost me everything. We cannot have a tainted sample. So they actually quarantine every ingredient when it comes in and test the individual ingredients. And then that's brought into the warehouse. And then, it's crazy.
They have a third party.
They do both third party and independent testing.
Yeah. I wonder what the price point will be.
Yeah. They're being very meticulous.
Yeah. I'm surprised he's doing a BCAA though. That's kind of,
it's
like, I feel like that's been debunked, a lot lately, that it's really kind of useless and it's just really flavored water while you're working out.
Where essential aminos are more the thing now.
Yeah. And I mean, I get the protein, I get the pre-workout. Those are all sort of necessary. You get the caffeine and the beta alanine and all that stuff. But yeah, so it's kind of like about the BCAA, but I'm sure it will taste delicious and I'm sure everyone will buy it.
And the last thing I wanted to talk about was, looks like we're going to get some live semifinals.
Yay.
So 3 of them have made calls for volunteers and said that spectator tickets are going to go on sale. The MAC has already put out like their protocols for what's going to happen. And it's all dependent on whether you are vaccinated fully or not, what you have to do when you come. If you are, then you can show them your vaccination card. That gets you in. If not, you have to have a negative test before you come, like 48 hours before you get there.
Is that for volunteers too?
And spectators.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yep. And then you must wear a mask inside, no matter what level you are at this point, unless you are actively eating or drinking.
Sweet. So there you go. Here I am. And
then Loud and Live hasn't put that out for Granite and West Coast yet, but we want to tell you that we are going to try to cover these in some form or fashion throughout all three of those semifinals that are live in North America. And we're working on media credentials. We think we're 2/3 of the way there.
Yeah, we haven't talked about where West Coast is either officially. Like
we're going to
there's a hotel
Vegas,
link
baby.
and everything. Going to Vegas.
Vegas.
I can make that one.
I can't.
A little less conversation.
I can't wait. I've never been to Vegas.
I've never been either.
Oh,
It'll be my
no.
first time.
I'm kind of afraid to go. I was afraid to go in the past because I love to gamble and I just be afraid.
Right.
I do. Oh,
I would have
it's
never
bad.
thought that. I think it's so
man.
boring. And everybody
I-
thinks I would be like addicted.
I totally get how it's addictive.
Yeah, I'm just afraid like I would go and never come back. So you're gonna have to, make sure, Scott, keep me on a short leash.
Yeah. So we already actually, Kat and I have hotel rooms for Vegas already.
Done.
We have
one for like 2 weeks because I'm not sure how long I'm staying.
we have lodging for the MAC.
Yep.
It's just Granite Games we're working on. So we're definitely going to be at 2 of them. Just got to work on that Granite Game thing.
I wish I could go to that one.
So with that, would we like to go to our silly questions brought to you by Up Before You Coffee?
Oh yeah. Another
Best
discount code.
Such a good tasting coffee, and it's an awesome discount code of Clydesdale 20 for 20% off your order at upbeforeyou.com. They have a light roast and a medium roast. They actually did a poll out to their followers on Instagram, and medium roast won 89% to 11.
Really? I chose light because I'm a coffee wimp.
I actually like the medium a little better. I think it has a little more robust flavor, and it's hard to believe like 2 years ago I didn't even drink coffee, and now like I love all the different kinds and all that. So
cool.
Well, with that,
Nice.
First question is, hopefully I get this right. Kat sent this to us.
I don't even remember what they are.
Would you rather be beautiful and poor or rich and stupid? Amy?
Well, I'd rather be beautiful and poor. Well, because I don't want to be stupid. I just don't want to be stupid. The poor thing, like, I don't know, I guess. And when I was thinking about this, I was like, I'm not a very materialistic person. I think I have a privileged life, but I think I don't value the material things as much, but I'm sure I could pull together some resources. So I don't know. That's just what I felt. I don't want to be stupid.
Well, I think like I've lived the beautiful poor life.
All right. So you want to be rich and stupid. That's fine.
No. So my thing with beautiful and poor is that I could work my way out of that situation, right?
Especially
if I have the brains, I could do that. If you're stupid, you're going to squander your money and you're not going to be able to figure out how to get back to where you were. So definitely beautiful and poor.
Yeah, that's a good way to look at it. Yeah, I don't want to be stupid either. It's the stupid part that's keeping me from picking that second one, not the beautiful part. That's drawing me away. But yeah, maybe we could parlay the beauty into something a little more successful and, come out of the poorness. But yeah, definitely stupid is not a trait that I would.
Stupid is the trait I would want the least of any trait.
Yeah, agreed.
I'd rather have 3 eyes and my nose hanging off to the side than be stupid.
Smart. Yeah.
Or be a dick. I just don't want to be a dick either. I'm not saying that you're stupid, you're a dick. I'm just adding that on because that's my family motto.
Right.
Yep. Don't be a dick.
Be a dick.
And our second question is, what is the most extravagant thing you have purchased?
Need follow-up on this. I need more clarification.
Okay.
So when we say extravagant, do we mean expensive big things, or do we mean extravagant like things we don't really need but we spent money on?
Yes,
I took it as B, but
okay, you guys go first.
I need to go last.
Oh, my goodness.
I'll go second. Scott,
Who's your question?
I know I didn't think about it. I told you I had 5 minutes. I gave you the questions and then I went about my day.
All right. Oh gosh. I the only thing that really is coming to mind, because I grew up pretty frugally, like when you had to stand in line for cheese as a kid, like it's hard to overspend for things. But I would say I bought a Vitamix blender back in the day when I thought that grinding up fruits was going to be my way to weight loss. And I spent like $500 on a mixer.
Yeah, those things are expensive.
We still have it today.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, the infomercial guy, which was at Sam's Club, is
Yeah.
like, oh, you can just throw the whole apple in, and then the real vitamins are in the seeds and the stems and and so I ate smoothies.
Did they show you how to make soup? Did they show you about the soup? Did you have a soup feature? Yeah.
And then you could get the new attachment blade to make grind meat.
Hmm.
And it actually spins so fast the soup warms up.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
I was sold on that too. I did the same thing.
So that's the one thing that's popping into my head. I'm sure I have done other things with CrossFit, swag.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But that's the big one that came to mind, because it was a flop. It didn't help me lose weight, and I spent a shit ton of money on it.
Yeah. I'll go CrossFit related, and this is not a ding to our sponsor, but I bought an Evo rope like 3 years ago, and it was $125 for a jump rope. Now I don't know what they cost now. They might be, more cost effective. But yeah, I have it, and I barely use it just because the cable's too short, and I haven't like gone and gotten the cable replaced. I did use it when we did the Annie. What did we do?
Yeah.
The head-to-head Annie thing. I used it then, and I realized like why it cost as much as it did, because man, does it spin really smoothly. But at the time, it was really kind of over the top, and like I did not need that. Like I feel like that's more for like competitive athletes that are sponsored and sort of get it for free and whatever else. But yeah.
What's funny is when I had my relapse day on Saturday, one of the guys I was drinking beer with used our code to get an Evo rope.
Shut up. See, well, that's great. I mean, yeah, I did not have a discount for it.
And he thought it was a game changer.
Yeah, it is an amazing tool for sure. I just, at the time, at my level, like I had no business buying like a speed rope like that. I was still using the big giant, cable, the ultra, whatever, and trying to get double unders. So.
Amy, you got something?
Yeah, I'm going to give you guys a hint here. The most extravagant thing I've ever purchased before was probably Botox. And I currently do not have any because, as you can see, I'm moving. Yeah.
So
go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Let's talk about that.
I'll tell you about how that happened. So I went to, it was like somebody had this pre-COVID. Somebody had this like party where it's like, they had different like independent like boutiques at this person's house. So like people who locally made certain things, like were selling things, and then they had somebody from Med Spa, and I was like, you know what? I was like, here's the deal. Like, I'm getting older and I've got these crow's feet. I want you to do this. I'm thinking Botox is going to just fix these crow's feet right up. Well, they don't. It doesn't work with crow's feet. But then everybody's like, no, you should just get your forehead. You'll just look so good. Well, then what happened was I had one eyebrow that went up like this.
Yep.
Not the other one. And so but I did it. And I mean, whatever. I enjoyed it for the short period of time. But then COVID happened. I was like, I can't justify spending this amount of money on poison for my head.
So I need to bring something up, and I'm busting at the seams that you brought this up.
Yeah, I love it.
Our other co-host that's on this show right now accused me of using Botox.
Let's see. Come on. I don't see any. Does your forehead move at all?
I see a little crease
there's
up there,
no
but yeah.
wrinkles. I mean,
You just don't have wrinkles there.
Look at this. I got all kinds of stuff happening here.
I do not I do not use Botox.
You got some great
I
skin
just
there,
have
Schweitzer.
naturally awesome skin.
You got
You
baby
do.
skin.
My wife my wife suffers from like eczema and all this stuff, and she hates that I have like better skin than her.
Yeah, it's annoying.
And when she was pregnant, her prayer was that our daughter got my skin and not hers, which I
And?
think happened. So
Good. That's good. Well, you've got really good lighting there too. Like you just look
You're
better.
glowing.
Yeah.
Also, good nutrition does that.
I need to fix this lighting because I'm like, it's blinding me.
yeah, I actually have photo lights that my daughter gave me as a hand-me-down. And
So they
as
have like
Kat put,
little
I bought them in the
it.
first place. So it's a hand-me-down from me to me.
Yeah.
I know all about that. It's kind of like when your son like asks you for $200 for a bat that he's going to buy from someone else. And he also trades the other bat that you bought for $400 like a year ago along with it. So I basically paid $600 for a used bat and not, like.
But
like
someday
they
you'll get
feel
to use it in the backyard
No, never, I'll never see it.
in the family t-ball game.
Yeah.
Or when my daughter sells her clothes on Instagram, and she's like, "Oh, I made $7 for this pair of shorts." I'm like, "I paid $30 for it a month ago. Can I have my $7, please?"
For real.
Kiddos, I love them.
Yeah, we bought my daughter a new MacBook because she needed it for the job she's going to do.
Oh yeah. I don't know.
I'm
My
trying to get my
MacBook,
best thing on the internet, and I didn't know it was going to make sound. All right.
And
my MacBook has not been nice to me lately, as you guys know. I'm not happy with it right now.
and so we bought her one, and the deal was that she would sell back or sell the other one, and we would get the money. Well, it's somehow it became her money now that she sold the old MacBook.
Yeah.
Well, we bought both.
I know. I can't even. Little money pit over here.
All right. Well, before we run out of time, let's talk about who's going to be on the show Monday.
Yeah.
It is going to be CrossFit OG legend and Titan Games champion and firefighter extraordinaire, Mr. Matt Chan. What a great interview. What a storyteller. So cool. And I'll just leave you with this tidbit. He didn't get to keep the trophy from Titan Games.
Shut up.
He didn't get to keep the medal. He didn't even get to keep the outfit.
No outfits. Let's hashtag and tag.
Wow.
Wins the Titan Games and has nothing to show that he won it.
Yeah.
We got to talk to The Rock about that. Something's wrong with
Yeah.
that.
We should definitely interview him.
Yeah.
Get him on the show.
We'll need to get him. We'll get him on the week after.
Okay.
All right. So now we'll go to best thing from the internet.
Okay.
Amy,
I have
did you
mine.
find something there? All the
do.
way up.
So, and yeah, I didn't mean to, but I did send it to you. So, Sonny Webster, also Australian, also Olympic lifter. So I follow him on Instagram, and he's just a funny dude, and like he will do, just post some kind of funny stuff, but then he'll post really useful things. But he posted today something like a squat therapy with a barbell, and then he did a barbell and then a rollover back hamstring, looks like almost. But anyways, I just think he's a really good follow because he has a really good tips, but also does it in a really funny way.
Kat?
Who's that? What's his name?
Sonny Webster.
Sonny Webster. Okay, writing that down. Hold on. My best thing on the internet. I found this guy on TikTok. I love dogs. This guy, his username is Jauncey Dev, JAUNCYDEV on TikTok, and he does a few bits. There's like 5 different parts of it where he impersonates a dog breed.
Yeah, that's good.
Right.
Yeah.
And so he does like a Shih Tzu, and he puts his hair in like 3 ponytails, and he's hanging out a car window and just like smiling, and like the wind is like blowing. He does an English Mastiff where he's sitting there and drools like coming out of his mouth. There's a German Shepherd where they open the door and he's like, "What are you here for? What are you here for?" And then he takes his book bag and like sniffs the book bag and he's like, okay, come on, you can come in. It's fine.
Yeah, he's good. I mean,
Super funny. I
it
assume
is
he's a
really good.
comedian, but it like came up on my For You page because everything I follow is dogs or
Dogs,
CrossFit.
yeah,
So
same.
super funny. Oh, and one more. Sorry, I have two. Royce Dunn had a baby.
I did see that.
Roycey boy from Australia. Super cute baby. Oh my gosh, I've never seen a more gorgeous infant.
I
But
drowned.
congratulations to him and his wife.
Yeah, that was awesome. I was surprised. I didn't even know she was pregnant.
Yeah, I didn't either.
And then that was cool to see. So mine is more serious. Mine is the new CrossFit documentary, Price of Admission,
Oh yeah.
that is with Sheila Barden. And I met Sheila at the 2016 regionals here in Columbus that Amy and I worked together. And ever since then, every time she sees me, she gives me a hug. I think she's one of the best people in the world. And she suffered a lot of injuries and setbacks in like 17, 18, shoulder, back, all that. As I've shared on here, I've gone through a lot of emotional and mental issues over the last couple years myself. And she spoke exactly how I feel or felt during those times.
Mm-hmm.
And it was very emotional for me to watch. And especially, I think it's like 22 minutes long. The first 15 minutes are all about like her going through all of that stuff. And she still, like, I feel like I'm past it a little bit. Like I found where I need to be and what I need to do and how I can get back. She's still trying to find who she is. And for someone that I have respected and loved and been a big fan of, to see her struggle is very hard. And knowing how it feels because I've been there myself. But when she made the statement that when she walks in the gym, she feels like a failure, it just hit home for me, because when I hurt my back and gained all my weight, every time I walked in the gym, I felt like I was a failure. And that was really hard for me to get over. And so I highly recommend this CrossFit documentary. It is so good, so well done, very well narrated, and tells that story. And she's playing tennis now. She's trying to find other avenues. And her tennis coach says she's actually getting very good, very fast, much faster than most athletes. And she's a coach, and they kind of focus on an overweight athlete who has become attached to Sheila, and they work together to kind of, and that's the ending, that last 7 minutes. And so I hope that Sheila can see what she's bringing to the table in these other fashions and finds happiness in that.
Yeah.
But it's a great, great documentary.
I didn't realize that you had met her. Why am I the one that's been chasing her on Instagram for the last 6 months trying to get her to come on the show? You should be calling. You should be.
Well, you just did it first.
I know, and
so
she's
I just
agreed
let
to
you
come
have the
on.
lead.
She absolutely has agreed to come on. We just have not connected again. And I imagine, like we were talking before, like maybe she knew this was coming out and just wanted this to be like the first time that she comes out, publicly with her story. Yeah. But yeah, I've always loved her too. I just loved her spunk, and like her physique is insane. Always been a fan of hers.
Well, and you're the same height.
Right, exactly. Like we're the same person essentially.
And I was such a big fan, and Amy can attest to this. I used to wear 2 different shoes. All the time.
Yeah, I remember this. Yeah. Come here, buddy. Hi.
All the time. Every competition for sure. And most of the time at the gym for a couple of years, I wore 2 different shoes.
That's funny.
Totally.
So with that, we want to give another shout out to our sponsor, RX Smart Gear. We're still on the road, hashtag to 1,000, trying to get 1,000 subscribers. Make sure you go to our YouTube channel, the Clydesdale Fitness and Friends podcast, and subscribe. If you have a public profile and we hit the next century mark and we draw your name, you'll get a brand new, it is now an official podcast again.
That was recorded.
Sorry. It's like planned, right?
And if we draw your name, you'll get a brand new classic RX Smart Gear jump rope. You get to pick the colors, the handles, the weight, all of that stuff. And RX Smart Gear will throw in a couple extra gifts along with that rope. Also, Bear Bells protein bars. They are my new addiction. They are my treat right after a workout to get that
Crunchy
protein
fudge,
in.
crunchy fudge.
Love the crunchy fudge. Love the salty peanut. Love the white chocolate almond. That was really good today.
The
really hit the
hazelnut,
spot.
the hazelnut nougat's really good too. I'm a huge like Nutella fan. I love Nutella, and this is like a really nice healthy substitute.
So make sure you use Clydesdale 10 to get 10% off your order at shop.bearbells.com. And with that, we will see you next time on the Clydesdale Fitness and Friends.
Bye.
See ya.